going to cover the Fatiha and then Ayatul Kursi, as we've done numerous times. But being that it is something that is recited, inshallah, on a daily basis, along with Ayatul Kursi, Fatiha, is something that we should be able to articulate to other people. I mean, easily. Something that we were able to articulate if we were at a gathering with people that do not know Islam or do not know the Quran. When we tell them that this is a chapter that we recite in all of the salawat, this is something that we should be able to do, that every Muslim should be able to do, be able to articulate and explain to anyone. So the first thing is when we say reciting the Quran, we say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We say A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim and Bismillah Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. So A'udhu Billah, al-isti'adha means to return or to seek. So when you do A'udhu, means I return to and I seek refuge with. So when you seek refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is as though you are fleeing to Him or going back to Him, because He is the ultimate protection. Protection from what? Protection from ash-shaytan. And shaitan comes from shatana, which means ba'uda, or shata, which means ba'uda wa ub'ida. So it means something that is far away, that takes you far away from something. So shaitan is that which takes you far away from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and anything that Allah wants from you. So when we say A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, is I seek refuge with Allah, and that means I seek refuge with His names and His attributes, particularly in this particular situation, in His protection. Protection from the shaitan and his influences. So when we talk about Allah, we're talking about Allah's names and attributes. So in Allah's influences, what He does for His slaves and His ibad. And then a shaitan is the one that influences the slave to do things that are impermissible. So sometimes shaitan may whisper to you to do certain things, and definitely whatever he whispers to you is to take you away from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when reciting the Quran, which is the best remembrance, you do not want any influences of shaitan to take part. So when we're talking about reciting the Quran, when one recites the Quran, they want to remember Allah's names and His attributes and His characteristics, not to think about anything of the dunya. And if they think about things of the dunya of this life, they're using that as a means to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we remember children, or remember, for instance, going to work now, we think of one name of Allah being what? Who can help me? If we think of going to work today, for instance, you're about to get up and go to work or go back home. What is one name of Allah you can remember when starting your car? Ar-Razzaq. That's the first thing, because when we think of work, we think what? And everybody knows what I mean when I talk about this pocket. Who remembers when I talk about this pocket? What's my one of my teachers told me, I never forgot it. My first year in the language program, I didn't know Arabic, but he couldn't speak English, but we all understood when he made this joke. Who remembers this joke? Okay. The reason they put the pocket here on the shirts and everywhere is because we love money so much, we want the money right next to our heart. Right? This is why we love money. And what is money in Arabic, Ya Sheikh Abi Ahmed? Huh? I forgot. When I say words, there's so many words, and I was saying last night how Arabic is a rich language. There's so many. What's another word? Not fulus, not nuqud. Mal. And what's the verb mal? Mal, the verb mal yaminu. Yani ish? To lean towards something. And the word mal was called mal li'anna qulubana tamilu ilayhi. Yattaji ilayhi, because our hearts lean towards it. Right? We want it so much, right? We think that that is the ends, but only it is a means to get to something much, much greater than that, to where your money should be a means for you to worship Allah. Hence, we have it as a pillar of Islam, being zakat. It is only a means for you to show gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when reciting the Quran, you remember these things. And this, what we just talked about now, was just a manifestation of Ar-Razzaq. And that is from remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being when we say, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, any effect from shaitan in regards to, particularly in this situation, reciting the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ba means ba of isti'ana, or we say with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I do whatever comes after that. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, abda. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, akul. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, I start. In the name of Allah, I eat. In the name of Allah, I do whatever it takes, or I do whatever I'm going to embark upon is with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we say with the name of Allah, what does that mean? That means with the barakah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings. Whether it is bringing something into existence or taking something away. Whether it is bringing execution of time management to where 20 minutes you've gotten so many things done that the day before in 2 hours you didn't do. And that is simply because of barakah. One can say, yes, it's because I use my time wisely. We say, yes, that is a manifestation of barakah. We say that as Allah's barakah placed on you using your time wisely. Maybe turning your phone off, maybe going to a certain portion, a place in an area in your home, in your job, so on and so forth. The barakah was placed there because that time frame that seemed like so little, so much was done. And that is the meaning of barakah, is a kathur, yani a kuthur, that it is something that is a lot from a little. Someone saying, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of Allah, we do this and we embark upon this action. From that is placing barakah in it, and also the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whenever you say Bismillah, it is seeking assistance in Allah's names and His attributes again in whatever you do. So when you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim akul, what is one name of Allah that comes to your mind when it comes to eating? Razak, He provided for you the food. Okay. What if He provided for me the food and I got sick? What's another name of Allah? Al-Hafiz. Right. Al-Hafiz. The one that what? Preserves you, protects you. Now, so when we think of eating, we say Bismillah, okay, Allah provided for me this food. But when I eat it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect me from any harmful things. Right? Harmful things. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made me a sabur because I may have eaten this food and I may not feel sustained, or I may want some more and I know that I need to be patient for my own health. Or what I'm eating is not that not that healthy. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. If we remember that when we start our cars, who knows the dua when we start our cars? Naam, subhanalladhi sakhkhara lana hadha wa ma kunna lahu muqrinin. For inshallah tomorrow. Naam, subhanalladhi sakhkhara lana hadha wa ma kunna lahu muqrinin. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, we say glory to Allah. Inshallah, we will cover this inshallah tomorrow. I think this is very important. All of us say this right when we walk up the door, inshallah ta'ala. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those that seek His protection from the evil, accursed shaitan, ar-rajim, al-manbooth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those that throughout this seeking protection from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we do everything in His name, seeking His names and attributes from protection, provision, assistance, ila akhirihi, etc. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.